Kai, big announcement last week. It's been a long time coming, and you must have been happy to hear it.
Yeah, over the moon. It's been my life goal to be in the UFC, and to finally get a contract, words can't really describe how, the feeling. Is just all that hard work and all that sacrificing has paid off.
Well, I know it's been a long journey because I interviewed you as a 14-year-old. I've interviewed over 9,000 people, but I went away from that interview that day and I said to my wife on the way home, I think I've just spoken to one of the nicest young men that I've ever spoken, because at 14 years of age you had clear definition of where you were going in life. You even had your own label, clothing label. I think it was called Bubba or Bopper. I wasn't far away. Yeah. So you knew where you were going. And can you tell the viewers a little bit about that journey, where you started, some of the people that have influenced your life and the gyms that you've been to, and how you got to be here where you are today?
Yeah, definitely. So I started my mixed martial arts career at my local gym, Strikeforce. It was based in Avondale, next to the movie theatre. So with Carl Weber and Aaron Boyce. Walked into the gym, not really expecting too much. Just my parents got me into it just to build my confidence. I was a really shy kid growing up. Used to get bullied a lot as well, just because I was so small. Yeah, just to feel confident, and I progressed into more kickboxing when I was about 13, 14, and then got into more MMA at that age. So picked up a few amateur fights just to get the experience. I lost my first 2 fights actually at the North Shore Event Centre on the Shuriken show. So yeah, I lost, but I knew this is what I wanted to do, and I was committed to it. So I came back, I won my next few fights, ended up fighting at the YMCA on Supremacy, got a head kick knockout, and then the next day I had an exam in high school, so I was balancing it all out, but I knew like this is what I wanted to do. So then ended up getting picked up on Legend Fighting Championship, which is based in Hong Kong. A few of my other teammates had paved the way for me to fight overseas, so I was following in their footsteps. So at a young age, I was training next to Dan Hooker, Rod McSwain, Sam Brown, Gareth Illy, all these legends in the sport that I was training on a daily basis. So that's definitely prepared me to where I am now, knowing that I've been doing it for a long time now. So after I was fighting on Legend FC, eventually I got asked to do a tryout at Tiger Muay Thai for a 1-year scholarship. So I was at uni. I told my parents that I wanted to put this on hold and progress in my mixed martial arts career. They were all for it. They knew that I was passionate and I was going to put everything into it. So they let me put university on hold, which is quite rare. All my family's gone to university. They're all done well in their own career paths. So it was a risk, but they knew that this is what I wanted to do, so they're not going to stop me from following my dreams. So I ended up winning a full-year scholarship at Tiger Muay Thai in Phuket, Thailand, and it just continued on for 4 years. So I was fighting around Asia, fighting in a lot of promotions, just picking up as much experience as I could. I'm not going to lie, it was tough. It was financially and mentally, just being away from my family for so long, and I was making enough money to live in Thailand, just because the cost of living is so small there. I had good people around me as well that would help me out. But sometimes it did get rough, and instead of sparring at the gym on the Friday, I'd fight boxing at the local stadium, just to kind of get a bit more funds together to feel, to make me a bit more financially stable. So yeah, I was literally fighting to put food on my table at a young age. And then after living in Thailand, I ended up getting picked up on The Ultimate Fighter, season 24, and it was filmed in Las Vegas. So this was, I was living in Vegas for 7 weeks, but living in Thailand for 4 years kind of got me prepared for what was to happen in the house, fighting back to back, cutting weight, you know, having cameras surrounded by you all the time. not seeing your family. So I was more than ready to do the show just because of what I've done already. And I'd fought in over 13 different countries before I got on the Ultimate Fighter. So I was well experienced. I was young, but I was still had more experience than most of the guys in the show. So yeah, after the show, got the first round knockout in front of Dana White. I thought that was enough to get a contract, but it's kind of been a blessing in disguise. 2 years later, I've been staying pretty active. I'm on a 5-fight win streak. Still been winning, still been beating top level talent, and yeah, just being patient. That's what's these 2 years not being in the UFC have taught me, just to not worry about things that are out of my control. All I can control is the fight and winning. So as long as I'm doing that job, I always told myself everything will work out. And so being surrounded by Eugene and Doug and Israel and Dan and Shane and all the guys at the gym has kept me motivated to, you know, always look on the bright side and know that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and all that hard work eventually would pay off. And yeah, it's satisfying.
So one journey's ended and a new one begins.
Well, that's it. We've been the system at the gym's obviously been working, so we're not going to change too much. Even though we've got the UFC call up, now we keep doing all that hard work, and we make our UFC debut count.
Mate, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and it's been a pleasure following your journey so far.
Thank you. I appreciate it.